What's up guys, Prop by T here, back with another video. In today's one I'm going to be doing an Afro swing tutorial, so let's get straight into it as usual. I'll let you guys hear the first part of the beat so you can get an idea.
She's too wavy, you know.
So let's break it down. Let's start with the melody first. So first things first, we've got the Rhodes Piano right here, sounding like this. Let's just click on it so you can see what's going on. So there we go. Started off with simple chords in the beginning. After that, I layered in the electric piano to just add a different texture to the chord. So yeah, you get the idea. Basically the same thing going on. Maybe some of the notes here are more harmonizing with the Rhodes piano notes, but overall it's just a different sound, different instrument to add a different texture. So yeah, after that we've got the trumpet. I like having a trumpet or a sound that's kind of like a lead into the next section of the song. I've got some other trumpets as well that I will just show you. This trumpet here, which I believe is from both of these trumpets are stock trumpets. What I just played you now was trumpet 2. I'll play you the melody for trumpet 3. And trumpet 3, what inspired that is the bass that I played for that. So trumpet 3 is basically following off of the bass, which sounds like this, the bass guitar. Then we have trombone playing. So Trumpet 2 and trombone 2 are basically harmonizing with each other, and that's how all the trumpets work really well, I feel, just layering them on like that. And then we have the jazz guitar, which I got from the Contacts library. You can see here. Yeah, that's the jazz guitar. It says it right there. And yeah, let me show you what the jazz guitar sounds like. Now the jazz guitar, like it says, is a very jazzy melody that I used. Very jazzy melody indeed, I can't lie. And I also put a Fruity Love filter automation at the beginning, which kind of gives it, basically just messes with the high and low frequency. Whereas without it, sounds like that. So just a different sound to give the beat in the beginning, you know. There's one trumpet that I left out. This one comes in a bit later on. And run you down through all the effects that I used as well. We start off with the Rhodes. You got reverb to add some realism to the piano. We've got chorus, which basically thickens the instrument. I feel like it adds on another voice kind of thing. And we've got a EQ on it. So I just cut out some of the low frequencies. Again, I always cut out low frequencies in pretty much most of my instruments so that it doesn't clash or become too muddy, especially when you've got drums going on. So yeah, without the effects, sounds like this. And with the effect, the electric, I'm gonna show you. Got just reverb and EQ on there. So with and without. Let me play you the trombone. So that's literally just got reverb, parametric EQ as well. Just put down some of the highs because the frequencies was kind of piercing in your ear. Those annoying kind of high frequencies that just sound a bit too harsh. So took that out and then just took out some other frequencies that wasn't sounding too nice there. And then we've got reverb as well. Again, add some realism, some widens the sound a bit as well, I think. After that, the bass just has overdrive on it, which basically just makes it punch really hard, like here without, and then with. It's like way more in your ear, I think. Anyways, slight difference, but you know, sometimes I feel like I overdo it with basses because I just don't want it to be like you can't hear it, especially when everything is playing. You want it to punch through the mix, and this really helps it to punch through the mix. After that, we've got the trumpet, another trumpet, track 19. Let's see what we got on that. Just an EQ. Let me show you with versus less intrusive, if you know what I mean. Because I wanted these to be like background trumpets, not too in the forefront of the mix. So just take out some of the frequencies and it kind of sits it back there nicely in the mix. After that, we got trumpet 3, which is also on, I just rated it to 19 because I wanted the same effect for it. Play it from here. Again, just So see, when I turned it off there just now, it sounded a bit harsh, but here it just sounds soft, a little bit quieter, sits nicely in the back, not clashing too much with any of the other trumpets playing, because I've got a lot of trumpets going on in here. So the last thing I want is for them all to be blasting at the same sound with all the same frequencies trying to come through. Nah. So let's see what's going on here. Track 20, just another EQ again. This one is much more EQ'd than the other trumpet, so you can see I took out a lot of the low end, a lot of the high end. Let's hear how it sounds. And without, if I didn't take out any frequencies, this is what it sounds like. So just too much going on. So just had to cut some of that out. So that's trumpet 2. Then we've got number 21, the jazz guitar from Contact. I got a fruity phase on here, just a light one. I even toned it down a little bit because I didn't want it to be too much. So without the phaser, obviously, I've got an EQ on here as well. Let me just see. Yeah, just cut out a little bit of the low end so it didn't clash too much with the drums, but I still wanted that bassy sound on the low notes that you see here. I still wanted them to pop, so I didn't cut out too much. And then, yeah, the phaser. Let's hear it without the phaser. And then with, it just gives it a bit more, just a different, a different sound, more realistic guitar kind of sound. I didn't even put a reverb on it as well. So yeah, just, change up the sound a bit. And then what else do we have? We've got this trumpet from Contact on number 27, which if I go there now, very weird trumpet. Let's even see what kind of trumpet it was. Muted trumpet. So I just kind of put that in there just to sound like. So yeah, that was just a melody to be sitting in the back, just doing its thing there, just different. I haven't used that anywhere else in the beat. It only comes in near the end. So yeah, just a quick switch up. So that's everything. That's my whole melody. Let me even show you. I forgot to show you what I did to that. I put a reverb on there. You can see just, I think it's just the default reverb. I didn't do anything different. I did the parametric EQ, took out some of the highs, some of the lows, because I really wanted it to sit in the back of the mix. And I put a phaser on it just for like modulation. Like, I don't know how to describe what the phaser does, but you can hear what it does basically. It just yeah, it just does that. Like, it pans it as well a little bit, like it pans the sound basically. Let's move on to percussion. Let's start with the clap and the hi-hat. See what I've done here, just some rolls. Got the snare, then we got the rim following on from the snare. I've put quite a few variations in this rim. You can see I've changed up the velocity here as well, so each hit is different, which I feel gives it a very humanistic feel to the pattern. I like to put some stereo delay on it. I like to do this a lot on my drums or certain percussion instruments. Put a little stereo delay on it and you really hear it in your ears. It feels like it's physically playing in like two separate ears. So without, it sounds very mono, but with, you're hearing it in both ears. Like it sounds so realistic. It sounds like someone's in the room playing that drum. So yeah, we've got a drum roll on top of the percussion that's already playing. So if we just play everything else but the drum roll, I said, okay, that sounds cool, but it needs something more, like something really thick and heavy to let them, whoever's listening, know that yes, this is a drop, like something is coming in this next verse now. So I found this drum roll again. Jeb's Rolls, you can find him on YouTube. His packs A14 Afro Swing Production. So I use that. So yeah, just with it adds another thickness, like soulfulness. And with all the other percussion, apart from the four that I've just played you now, the rim, the snare, the hi-hat and the clap, I then bring in the kick and all of these percussions down here. So let me just play the kick. This is the kick. With the kick, I bring in the GUI. So originally, I played this GUI with a tambourine here as my own makeshift shaker, basically. So here it is. And you can see the velocity, I changed it up. So it really does sound like a shaker shaking in real life. And then put the tambourine there just to add a nice hit to it. And to get that echo on that tamb, again, go in the instrument settings and you can mess with the feed, which is how strong the echo is, and then you can do how many echoes you want, and then you can pan it, and then once you pan it to whichever side you want, you press ping pong, and then it will pan to both ears and not just one. Each echo will go between this ear and this ear, this ear and this ear. So without and with, yeah, I put quite a bit on the kick. I boosted the kick and I cut out. Yeah, I just boosted it here just so it hits a bit harder. And then there was a slight weird sound that plays at the end of the kick that I wasn't really liking, so I just cut that out a bit and then put overdrive again. And then I put free soft clipper, which I don't actually think I needed that, but just for my own head's sake, I put it on there. So this is what sounds with all the percussion and then percussion, and without the effects. Weak. Without all of this on, it is weak. You can barely punch him through, so definitely needed. Okay, so after that, so I've got an 808 clap, which I showed you already. But then I've got the pap clap, which sounds like this. So that's also got the delay effect on it. And then we've got a scraper effect that plays every now and then. Just something weird to add to the beat. Just I like putting weird sound. Then we got the 808 conga down on. And then we've got the normal conga. Then we got the shakers. I wasn't even gonna put these in. These was the last minute additions because, like I showed you before, I had my makeshift shakers that I made by myself. But then I found this loop, and I said, okay, yeah, this is the extra rhythm that I needed to thicken up the drums, because Afro swing, you can never have enough percussion in my opinion. So, and then with all the drums, my makeshift shakers was okay, but this shaker was needed because it really carries the rhythm, I think. Again, I got that from Jeb's rolls or Jeb's shaker loops, his pack. Other than that, we've just got a bunch of rolls now. That's a stock sound FPC metal hit. So we've got rolls like this. We've got rolls like this, where I've just layered so many rolls on top of each other and effects to really build and release that tension. Let me just play it with everything playing. Swing was on about 40% in this one. So yeah, what did I call it? This beat is called Spiritual Ginger. If you want to hear the full thing, get the full vibe, you can check it out on my Beats channel. Link will be in the description below. Follow my TikTok and my Instagram. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.
She's too wavy, you know.